Roland Emmerich has always been kind of a weird presence in the field of action movies, and I don't just mean because he himself is regarded as a pretty damn weird dude, though seriously, read up on it, the guy's kinda nutty, though I guess that actually is part of it. While his Independence Day is considered one of the patient zeros of modern CGI-heavy blockbusters, he's always had a slightly different touch with that kind of material that set his films apart from the aggressive macho bombast of many others. Oh, he's also just a flat-out better filmmaker than most other action specialists, with a classical eye for composition and a raw natural skill for visual storytelling and pushing an audience's buttons. Emmerich's films, even at their goofiest, are front-loaded with a mix of sincerity and playful mischief. He specializes in throwing out brazen, eye-rollingly on-the-nose iconic moments, so unapologetically blunt in their intent and enthusiasm that they serve as reassuring winks at the audience that say, yeah, we both know this is silly, but it's also awesome and it's okay to enjoy awesome things. He's also developed a latter-day proclivity toward the most radical thing you can possibly do while spending millions of dollars in Hollywood studio money. He makes his big, silly blockbuster movies about stuff. Sure, the classism or climate change messages in 2012 or The Day After Tomorrow were about as subtle as a shotgun blast to the face, or, well, a Roland Emmerich movie, but they were there. In an era where the bigger the movie, the more likely it is to be watered down of all possible ability to offend or even challenge any potential audience, that's pretty noteworthy in and of itself. In the most recent example, sure, you could take the premise of an armed attack on the White House as simply just another Die Hard riff in an architecturally exotic location, which the forgettable Olympus Has Fallen already did earlier this year. Emmerich's White House Down, on the other hand, starts with roughly the same idea and says, you know, since we're already here in Washington, D.C., maybe it might be more fun if we got, like, political with this. Like, really political. Make some noise, flip some people off, you know, poke the bear a little. The result is a rare bird. A way over-the-top shoot-'em-up buddy movie that also wants to be a cathartic, explicit wish fulfillment fantasy for the American left wing. To wit, Jamie Foxx's co-lead role as President Sawyer doesn't just have him looking a little bit like Barack Obama, he's an idealistic, Ivy League-educated Democrat president who hero worships Abraham Lincoln and wants to quit smoking. Subtlety, you'll note, is not this film's strong suit. As the story opens, said president is pushing hard for a controversial new agenda of making peace with Iran, withdrawing all troops from the Middle East, and diverting military funding to anti-poverty measures. Unfortunately, said agenda has earned him the ire of a collaboration of villains including, and I kid you not, white supremacists, paranoid militia types, disgruntled former soldiers, treasonous political opponents, ex-NSA hackers, seriously, and even what the characters unironically refer to as the military-industrial complex, all of whom unite to stop him by staging a paramilitary insurrection on the White House. I mean, wow. That's nuts. In a big blockbuster movie, that's nuts. Fortunately, say it with me now,
they didn't count on one man.
Namely Channing Tatum as, well, John McClane, basically, who happened to be on the scene applying for a Secret Service job and winds up as America's last best hope. Together, he and make-believe Obama team up to fight their way through the bad guys, rescue Tatum's conveniently also present young daughter, and figure out just who is really behind the attack in order to save the United States and indeed the world. This movie is awesome. It's completely preposterous to the point that it threatens to become a satire of itself at any moment, but it's so perfectly shamelessly committed to its own preposterousness that I just couldn't help but get swept up in it. The damn thing just keeps topping itself with one unbelievable "are you kidding me" heavy-handed plot turn or "I can't believe this is happening in a real movie" action sequence that by the time we've arrived at the car chase gun battle with armored limousines on the White House lawn, you're either going to be with it or not, and I was totally with it. The action is well directed, the stand-up and cheer moments are justly earned, and the sheer variety of fights, chases, suspense sequences, and pyrotechnic money shots Emmerich is able to wring out of such constrained geography is some kind of marvel. The screenplay is also surprisingly clever, even while wearing its almost endearingly blunt presidential love letter stature on its sleeve. The big central bad guy plan is completely ridiculous, but it establishes a tone and internal logic that the film sticks to and turns to its advantage, and while the characters are largely cartoon grotesques of what the film considers to be good and evil mainstays of American politics on hand to be either lionized or blown away, there's a surprising amount of texture to a lot of them. This is the good kind of silly. A lot of that, though, is owed to the cast. Tatum and Fox have great chemistry, Maggie Gyllenhaal does wonders with a supporting role, and the film makes great use of reliable character players like Richard Jenkins and James Woods. And it's downright devious to hand a major villain role to Jason Clarke, effectively playing the evil version of his famous role from Zero Dark 30. This summer has been kind of a mixed bag with action movies so far, but White House Down is the real thing. A serious contender with no shame about itself because it's just so damn good at doing exactly what it was built to do. See you next time.